Roasties, welcome back. It is round 8. We're coming off a monster weekend and we are back to preview round 8 of the NRL. Now, if you're listening, whatever service you listen to, if you could do us a favour, if you like the content, you like the tips, if you've made a couple of bucks off our tips, if we've helped you out just that little bit, help us out. You can go to your rating provider, go to your Apple or Spotify, whatever you listen on, and give us a rating. 5-star would be preferable. But, give us a rating. It helps the show out, and we can go from there. So, as always...
If you listened to the show last week and you followed the tips and you're not giving us a 5-star rating, have a good hard look at yourself because, I don't want to... Sometimes if you don't blow your own horn, you don't hear the music, Roasty. But we were on fire last week. So
we have been a bit slack in tooting our own horn.
We have.
I think this week I will be going above and beyond because...
Good.
Last week was absolutely phenomenal. As always, joined by that other voice, which is Hammy Goodman. How are you, Hammy? How was the weekend, mate? Apart from your outstanding tips, which we'll get to shortly. How was
Thank you. Look, it was great. It was great. Very, very relaxed, Roasty. Took it easy. Watched a lot of footy, which we love, and just followed the tips from the show. We were on the money last week, basically. So I was pretty happy to kind of follow a few of those in. We had a lot of green on the board, a lot of green on the spreadsheet this week. So, mate, I can't complain. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Well, I had a massive weekend in parks, as we spoke about last week. The King was all over the weekend, as in not Josh King, not Max King, but the King of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. I was dancing up a storm, up on the dance floor in our main park. With the kids, which was thoroughly enjoyable. It was a great weekend, though. Had plenty of people come through the town. Everyone was up and about, listening to some of those old rock and roll songs. They do get to you after the fourth day of listening to the same songs on repeat. And kids are playing them in the car the following week, so it does get to you a little bit. But no, it was a good weekend. Got out and about. Got dressed up as Elvis as well. They have a float.
That's pretty normal for you, though.
It is, mate. Getting dressed up, I don't mind getting dressed up. I used to love the footy trips. So, but no, mate, a thoroughly enjoyable weekend, and also got to a couple of days off with the kids. Took them to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now,
was it as good as the original?
Mate, it's good, but it's nowhere near the original. The original was really good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it for a kids movie. Jim Carrey is outstanding. In both, but he just can't hold it up in the second one.
Who's he play in the
Dr. Robotic?
He would be
main villain. So
nice.
But no, it was really good. Kids loved it. I fell asleep at the end, and we all had a great day. So
nice. That's good.
If you had a bet on me falling asleep in a kids movie, I pay about $1.04. I'm very Winks like odds.
Winks, 40 winks by the sounds of it. So. Very good. Well, I'm glad that you had a great weekend, and hopefully a couple of those winners helped, pay for a couple of movie tickets and stuff. Looking forward to that this week.
Let's talk about them. Let's toot. I'm going to toot your horn. For line bets and just sort of head-to-head bets or margins, like give us a rundown of your week.
I'd love to. Now, with my line or my head-to-head bets, I only missed 1 out of 8 games here. So the Sharks would cover. They did. The Broncos would cover. The Cowboys head-to-head. The Bunnies, I thought they would cover against the Tigers. However, I was using that as a bit of my loophole because the previous week I tipped the Eels to cover, and then the Tigers ended up winning. Yep. So I was doing it with that in mind. So that I'm happy to fall on my sword for that one. That's no dramas because the Tigers got up. Then I had the Eels to cover the line. The Panthers 13 plus, the Dragons with the start, and I said they were a chance of an upset as well, which they did. And then I had the Storm 13 plus. So 7 out of 8 games there I've nailed. If we move over to the try scorers, I had Talakai in the Sharks game. What a game that was from Talakai, Roasty. Absolutely tore it up. 2 tries in the first 10 minutes just about. I had Nofaluma as well. And then I kind of went a couple of selections from the Raiders-Panthers game. I had Kikau and Targo. Kikau scored. And in the Knights Eels game, I had Papali'i and Ponga. Papali'i scored at about $3.75. And then the Storm game, I had Pap and Olam. They both scored. So plenty of green on the board, Roasty, this week.
Even with the ones where you pick 2, if you a unit on each, you're still up. So
that's right.
Massive week from you, mate. I wasn't as big. I went through and I only covered, I think, in the head-to-head line or margins. I picked five out of 8, which hey, still profits.
Yep.
Which is still good, but nowhere near your massive 7. And a couple of try scores. Olakwadu, again, if you're not backing him, you can't back him this week, but when he comes back, if you're not backing him, you're silly because he's paying like $4.50 each time, and he scored in his last 4. It's massive. I had Talakai as well in that one. Satili Tupanua in the Roosters game, he was around that $4.50 again. And I picked Justin Olam. I did say I think he scored, and then I went 2+. So he came through right at the end of that match with 1,000 try scorers in that one, which we'll get to. But he came through in the end. So look, as a show, massive for you, just absolutely outstanding, and congratulations, mate.
Thank you, Rose. I wouldn't mind a little graphic there with a lot of green ticks on it at some point, just to whack up on the socials, just to make me feel good about myself.
Going out first thing this morning.
Lovely. All channels. Jack Wood, get that spend ready, mate. We've got a banger coming out. Well, big week. I was a bit disappointed in the Storm game that our man, the King himself, with the Parks Elvis Festival going as well. We had him as our lock of the week last week, paying $8.50. I thought, here we go. They're queuing up for tries.
We also had the news earlier on in that weekend with Max King of the Bulldogs re-signing with the Bulldogs. We thought, hey,
the stage was set.
100%.
But he couldn't do it for us. But we're due. It's a great seg, Roasty, and fingers crossed we can get a lock of the week up this week.
We'll get to that shortly, mate. What was your highlight of the weekend?
Highlight of the weekend. Look, I'm just going to go a little bit straight with a couple of these. I think Talakai. I mean, I've been enjoying I saw him in the flesh the week before when the Sharks lost to the Storm, and he just really reminded me of my favourite player growing up, Taniela Tuaki.
Yep.
Very similar. Big wrecking ball, just shot putting blokes off. And it's almost like he's playing on a PlayStation at the moment. He was outstanding. That first half, probably one of the best first halves I've ever seen from any player in the NRL. So that was great. And then how can you go past the great Luke Brooks? I've never doubted him. I've always said that's a match winner if ever I've seen one.
Yep.
And, surprised absolutely nobody kicking that winning field goal against the Bunnies. So those were my 2 big highlights of the week, aside from the great results for Let It Ride as well.
Mate, I got a 3-2-1. I got 1 point. Nelson Asafa Solomona kicking for Pappy to score a try. Now there aren't many better things you'll see in your life that is more beautiful than a prop kicking to a fullback to score a try. It was simply spectacular. He's got a kicking license for the rest of his life now.
That was pinpoint as well, Roasty. And do we link that back to just the Storm culture of every player being so well prepared and bellyache, just having them all so well drilled that anyone can step up at any stage and pretty much produce any skill?
I'm very surprised he hasn't named him at halfback this week. But
yeah,
you should see he'll shift in there, I think, later in the game. It's almost
maybe a bit of ducks and drakes, as they like to say on Fox League. Maybe he will slip into the 7 at some point.
The old Woolpool, yeah. Mate, number 2, Paper Scissors Rock. There was a fan in the stands of the Tigers game doing a Paper Scissors Rock with Jackson Hastings, I think for his jersey. He lost, but he was back the next day against at the Panthers game doing the same thing with Spencer Leniu, and he lost again for his boots. So unfortunately for that fan, but I love this the fans engaging with the players in this way, and the same with the players. Jumping in and doing it. It's great fun. It's great to see. But that kid needs to work on his paper scissors routine.
Do we know what he went with? Was he consistent both times with a rock or something?
No, he started with scissors, which I think is a really bad move. I always start with rock, giving it away if anyone wants to come up and have a game. But he was. No, he kept on changing, and Spencer found him out, and I think Hastings he figured him out pretty early as well. So
yeah,
mate, he's probably a bit of training, like maybe Tuesday, Thursday nights, at least an hour, just like footy.
So the goal kickers stay back a bit late to work on the goal kicking. Maybe he just needs to find someone to buddy up with and iron out a few kinks in his game.
If you're a budding paper scissors rock coach out there and you're looking for some clients, give us a ring. We'll put you in contact with the kid, and you'll bring in a few more clients and make a bit of coin.
Yep.
And 3 points to the Storm ball boy. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh,
He
yeah, wow.
took over the internet, running down the sideline, keeping up with Jerome Hughes. Some say he actually eclipsed him. He was only in sort of second year, and if he was in first gear, he would have been away. He would have eclipsed him. But photos, memes, all that sort of stuff afterwards was just gold. Even the Storm got into the act, doing a full like Instagram reel highlight thing package for him. It was absolutely phenomenal. I love to see that sort of stuff. So that's my 3-2-1 this week, mate.
Yep, so, good 3-2-1, that one, Roasty. Happy with that.
Should we move on to our favourite segment?
Yes, lock of the week. While you set the wheel up, I'll explain what it is. We like to get around the big boys, the locks in the NRL each week, the players named in the number 13 jersey. We spin a wheel and we trust in the wheel. We like to get all of our Let It Ride listeners and ourselves to back the lock of the week, gamble responsibly, of course, to 100%. Score a try at any stage in their match this weekend. We have been due for a lock of the week to come through for us. We've had a few locks scoring. Josh Curran's got over the line a couple of times now. Not when we've spun him up on the wheel, but that's okay. We like to just get around all the big boys. But fingers crossed, we are due. It's round 8 now. I'd like to think, the wheel could give us something. I thought we were on with Josh King last week just because everyone was scoring for the Storm. 70 points scored. Generally, you'd assume that maybe a lock had scored in that big avalanche of points, but wasn't to be. But hopefully we can get one soon.
Hopefully we get one soon and get this lock of the week segment the recognition it deserves.
Yeah, correct.
It is just a bit of fun, remember, but obviously we're not choosing it. The wheel chooses it, and we have faith in the wheel. So let's get it underway. It is spinning, mate. It is going around. Who is it going to land on this week? Oh, guess what? It's your boy, Zachy T. Thumbs up.
Zachy T.
Thumbs up for Zachy T.
A big thumbs up. Now, Zachy T playing against the Rabbitohs. Worth bearing in mind, the Rabbitohs lost to my mob, the Tigers, last week. So they're ripe for the picking here. And Zachy T is paying $10.50 to score at any stage
anytime
in that game.
$10.50.
That's massive. We've got a double digit for our lock of the week. Zachy Trebojevic. I don't think he's had a meat pie this year, so he'd be keen to get off the nudie run about a third of the way into the season. So let's get around Zachy T. Gamble responsibly.
What day is that one? Is that the Friday night game? Big game, massive.
We've got a lock of the week in prime time as well. So no excuse to not
again.
It is massively. Well, I'm pretty excited by that. I've always kind of. Well, we've spoken in weeks gone past. Who would you like to see? Zachy T signing off with a big thumbs up.
Yep.
Beautiful. So let's get around him. $10.50. That price,
Zachy.
That price won't last. I would have thought, Roasty.
Not if they see this and listen to this. It will come in to be favourite more than likely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mate, let's get into it. Broncos Sharks. Thursday night football. Sharks minus 10.5, and the over under is 41.5. Talakai v Stags this week has got me toey hemmy.
Yep.
I cannot wait for this battle. It will be massive. Talakai has been on a tear lately. That, like we spoke about that first half last week, absolutely massive. Yeah, how many people came in and said, "Oh, what about the second half?" I'm like, he did end up winning the game, and he scored. Yeah. He actually was responsible for more points than the whole Manly side. So I don't really think we need to talk about the second half at all.
He was actually pretty good in the second half too. He did a few little things. Freddie had a chat about him in the call, saying, "What about these?" He had 3 or 4 little examples, little 1%ers that aren't big stats that he'd done. So, I reckon he's going to be playing for New South Wales as well. Freddie seemed very interested in him on the call the other night. So,
this could be like one of the like a trial, because Stags has been pretty good as well. Been talked about. He's been open in the media, which is different as well. Saying, that's on my mind. I want to play for him. A lot of players just go, nah, I just want to focus on, week to week football. It's good to see him come out and say, no, that's on my mind. That's what I want to play for. So I think this is going to be a cracker. Rambo, Dale Finucane is back for the Sharkies. That could be a massive build up this week. Last 4 between these two have been decided by 10 or less. Broncos are home this year. They were flogged by the Cowboys. They beat the Bulldogs 13+. They beat the Rabbits, and they stayed within 4 of the Roosters. So I think they're going to lift here. I don't not enough to get the win, but I like Cronulla 1-12. But I think Broncos put up a fight. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what the bookies have got them at 10.5. What about you, mate?
Well, I noticed that the Broncos hate Thursdays. They've lost their last 12 Thursday games.
Yep.
The Sharks have covered in their last 4 games when they've started favourites. And I think they're a good side. Obviously, they lost to the Storm a few weeks ago, but looking good. Loving Talakai. I think he wins this battle with Stags as well. I think he gets a try at $2.15. And then Mulatalo, he's been in good form for the Sharks lately. He scored 2 doubles in a row for the Sharks, $4 to get 2 or more in this game. So I'm looking at all of those markets. Cronulla to cover, Talakai to get 1, and Mulatalo to double up.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I like Cronulla 1-12. I also like, I spoke about Broncos letting halves get in and score a try. So I think the great man, Nicholas Hines, I think he gets over for a meat pie this week at 350. So I like Cronulla 1-12 and Hines at 350. But this is going to be a cracker to start round 8 of the NRL this week. So on to Friday night, mate. Titans v Panthers. Now, let's. I want to ask you: the Raiders fans, the Panther fans, mocking the Viking clap the other weekend. Do you rate it or hate it, Hammy?
Look, as I'm from Canberra, I sort of am inclined to, back the ACT boys in there. But I mean, it's funny. They were getting pumped. That's what the home fans are supposed to do, aren't they? They're supposed to make life difficult for the away team. So, look, they were winning by 30 points or whatever. So big whoop. Well, and honestly, the Raiders aren't going to sit there and sulk about it and say it's disrespectful, are they? Because then you just incite more fans to do it. So, I didn't mind it. What was your thoughts?
Mate, I rate it. I rate the fans getting in and having a bit of banter. That's all it is.
Yep.
So it's better than the same old, Cleary's a wanker, or, so-and-so's a wanker, or, some of the basic sort of chants that we get. It's just, take this thing that, you don't really own anyway. It's that you've adopted. Let's make fun of it. I love it when the fans get in and do this sort of stuff. So I'm a massive rater of this, but but let's look at the Titans v Panthers.
Yes.
Brimson's heading back to fullback. Will Smith into the halves, looking to slap them into gear, mate. I can't see anything but a Panthers whooping here. Panthers 13+ in 6 of the 7 games this year. I really expected more from the Titans this year, but they have been a little bit terrible. Are you giving them any faith in this game?
No, I'm not. For some reason, after the teams were announced, they firmed up from $9 into $7, the Titans. I don't know what really changed there. I think Penrith 13+ is my play in this one as well. $1.44, that'll get you. The last 5 Panthers games have gone over the points line, which is 42.5 points. So happy to go the overs as well.
Yep.
In this one. And last week, the Titans conceded to both Nanai and Lukey, two second rowers there. So I think Kikau again went with him last week. I think he finds his way over the try line too. And you're getting about $2.50, as you generally are, for Kikau to get across the stripe as well.
Always a handy one to have in there. Yeah, like I said, I've got Panthers 13+. One player I thought looked great in his short stint last week was the debutant, or I think he's debutant, Sonny Luke. I think it's Sonny Luke, not Sonny Luke.
Yeah.
I think he gets a bit more game time this week, especially if the score blows out. And I think in that second half, the last 20 minutes, he's coming up against the Titans forwards. Panthers seem to grind him out a little bit. I think he's going to get over, and I like him to get immediate $5.90. I'm looking at. So I like Panthers 13+ and Sonny Luke to get over late in that match, that 6 o'clock one. Panthers looking to go 8 in a row. Amazing to start the season, mate. Second Friday night game: Rabbits v Manly. Rabbits -3.5 with the over under 39.5. Both teams coming off a loss. Souths have a bit of the wood over Manly, going 5, winning their last 5. And I think you might have shared it with me. Manly are 0-3 against top 8 sides this year.
Yep.
Who do you
That's
like?
correct. Well, I think based on what you've just said there, both of those ingredients, I noted the Rabbitohs having the wood with the last 5 wins between these sides as well. I think they will have got an absolute bake for losing to the Tigers last week.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to put in a performance like that again this week, although they weren't terrible. The Tigers actually were not too bad, but I think they'll bounce back in this game. So happy to take them head-to-head at $1.60. I had a little bit of a look at some try scorers here. Cody Walker has actually been the first try scorer in the last 2 games between these sides. He's $14 to be the first try scorer in this one. So I thought that might be worth a little Stewie diver. But outside of that,
150th game too. So
absolutely
milestone game. So
correct. So might be worth getting around him. And then outside of that, maybe we're looking at we're obviously looking at big Jake Trbojevic to score at any stage as well. I'm just going to have a quick on the fly here. Have a look at what a multi might pay for those 2 bets. So for Cody Walker to score first, and then for Jake Trbojevic to score at any stage. Now, if you whack them together in the same gamer, you're getting $147. So maybe that's a little let it ride bet there. I might whack a little $5 on that and see how we go. But wouldn't that be something?
I like that. You're cheering on both teams. You don't really care about the result. You just want you want a lot of points in here. You want to see a few different try scorers. So I love this. Cody Walker. I was going to say he scored 7 from his last 11 against Manly. He scored 3 in his last 4. So he is a massive chance to go over here. Some big outs for the Sea Eagles with Davey, Olakwadu, and Paseka out. They're battling some injuries in that forward pack. Both teams haven't been consistent, but I'm a little bit wary of this game. And like you are, I think South will cover the -3.5. And I like Johnson. He scored 13 from 13 against Manly. So I think he gets over. But, even Rabbits -3.5 into a Johnson try is only paying $2.60. So I'm just going to play it safe. That's what I'll do on that one. I think Rabbits cover, but I'm still a bit iffy, wary of the result. Mate, the first of the Super Saturday games, we've got Warriors, Raiders. Raiders -1.5, over and under 40.5. I think this could be a shit show. Do we just avoid this altogether?
I think so. Stinkeroo, this one for me, Roasty. The Warriors are now $2. The Raiders are $1.80. They were a bit closer than that yesterday, but regardless, I think the Warriors have got to show something.
Yep.
Based on how they went the other day. I think that they will have been hammered. Brownie will not be happy with the way that went. The Raiders got hammered as well. You got to remember against the Panthers. So they're both coming off shellackings. I noticed that 4 of the last 5 between these sides have been settled by 1-12, and I think the other game was 14 points. So they're generally pretty tight. If you're betting, maybe look at the betting head to head. Look at the 1-12 markets there. I noticed that the Warriors have been conceding a lot of tries to fullbacks this season. Jordan Rapana, $3.20 to score at any stage. He was the only one that really stood out to me, maybe as an anytime try scorer. But I think I'm with you. I don't think I'll be betting too much on this game. But if I was, maybe that try scorer, Jordan Rapana.
I'm not looking at anything in this game. I don't like it at all. Whitehead's back for the Rays. Did you see his lip? Did you see his lip injury? That was.
I tried to avoid it. There's a few times I was scrolling through and it was like sensitive content, so I just let it through to the keeper. But I'm tipping it's not too good. No,
he shattered teeth and it was pretty bad. But Warriors are also so Whitehead's back for the Raiders. Warriors without Curran, Watani Zalesniak, and Aaron Penne. So some outs there. These guys. What makes it worse? The last 2 games have been the last few games for these 2 sides have been split over the last few years, so it's sort of hard. And the last 2 games last year, there was horror show for punters. Raiders were leading 25-6 at half time, get run down 34-31. And later that year, the Warriors lead 16-6 at half time, only to lose 28-16. So this is honestly a punter's nightmare. I'm just avoiding it altogether. I haven't even picked a try score or anything, but Hammy's picked a couple there, but be wary of this game, punters. Bulldogs Roosters
might be 0-0 game.
Imagine that. You know what? It'll either be 0-0 or it'll be like 42-41 or some weird score. Be crazy. Bulldogs Roosters -11.5 and the over under 39.5. Now, is this the week the Bulldogs shine, mate?
Well, here's my notes. First bullet point. Chooks stink is my first bullet point.
Oh,
And last
very
week,
insightful analysis there, Hammy.
well, last week I said that the Red V were a chance to upset them.
Yep.
What happened? I think the Dogs are a chance to upset the Roosters here.
Yep.
I hope they don't, because I got the Roosters in a multi to make the top 4, and they need to pull their finger out a little bit. But the Dogs are a chance. I think there's definitely a chance to cover the 11.5. It's a 2-try scorer play for me. I've got the Fox at $2.50. Scored a couple last week, and then Tupanua at $3.30. He's always. I always like getting Tupanua in there. He's a bit cut of the same cloth of Kikau, a little bit.
Yep.
Big guy against some of the lower teams where the defense is a little bit disorganized. He can kind of bosh over there. So I was looking at those two, but
even last week, like they only had 2 try scorers and he was one of them. So
yeah. But big danger game for the Chooks is what I reckon. What do you think?
Yeah, look, Roosters were very slow last week, and they came out and said the forward pack, like Jared Hargraves and Radley starting off the bench due to like a bit of flu going through the team. I think they're back to 100% this week, apart from Daniel Tupu, who, mate, should have been sin bin for that hit, but I won't go too much into it. But he's out this week. He's been suspended. Roosters have won 8 straight against the Dogs, but yeah, I like the Dogs with the start. I'm with you. I think they'll challenge them and could upset them, but 11.5's good enough for me. I'm gonna chuck that in. I just have a feeling there's no stats or data or anything like that. It's just a feeling bet.
Yep.
I think this one's going to be a bit of a grind 'em out battle. 2 massive forward packs going toe to toe, and I'm actually looking forward to this one. I'm with you, Cecilia Tupanua. I like him as a try scorer. Matty Burton as well. I'm going to I'll sort of have one of yours, a Stewie Diver on him each week. He's going to come through, and when he does, it'll be good. But yeah, look, Bulldogs with a start for me in this one. Like it. Very good. Mate, the last one of the Super Saturday, Eels v Cowboys. Eels minus 9.5, over under 40.5. Now, this is actually 3rd versus 5th. Cowboys surprising everyone this year. Is this game a little bit closer than the 9.5 the bookies got? Or, do you think they cover it fairly easy? Well, look, the Eels bounced back well last week after losing to the Tigers. I wonder whether they've just been kicked into a bit of a reality check. I think they're too good for the Cowboys. I think they'll win. They've actually won their last 11 against Queensland teams, Parramatta. So that bodes well for them. The line, 9.5 points. I think they're good enough to cover it, Parramatta. I think Parramatta are the same as they've been the last couple of years. They're a top 4 side, but they're 4th, and they're not touching the top 3. I reckon they're better than everyone else, but they're not good enough to challenge for the title. So I think they'll be too good for the Cowboys. Is my read. Cowboys still sitting 2nd. They've only allowed in points allowed, so they've only allowed 93 points. Only 4 against them last week. Cowboys have had a couple of good wins, but it's been against the Raiders, Raiders and Titans. Before that, losses to the Roosters and Warriors. I think, you're right. Like their Eels are better than every other team, like a lot of teams. And this for the Cowboys is a bit of a step up in class. Eels coming off that huge win against the Knights last week, 39-2, I think. Dylan Brown to the centres was an interesting choice, but it paid off. He scored a try and played fairly well there. They're sticking with the same 17 this week. Eels have won the last 2 and have won big. I like the Eels 13 plus here. I think they run away with it. And Dylan Brown to go over again at 285. That's my tips for this one. I think love it. I think the Eels are too good for the Cowboys on Saturday night. Mate, Sunday. Knights v Storm. Storm minus 19.5. Yeah. Knights $9 head to head. Over under 41.5. Is this a fill up on try scorers again for this one? Yes, it is. Storm 13 plus for me. And that's $1.39. I'll probably take the line there, 19.5 points, I reckon, for the Storm based on how they played last week. They've won their last 10 against the Knights. And I also noticed the Knights have lost both halves in their last 5 games. They are in horrendous form after starting really well, I thought.
and the Storm are on top of their game. So this is going to be carnage, I reckon. I've gone for some try scorers here, but I've gone 2 or more because I think there's not much value in the any time for some of these guys. But Coates 2 or more gets you $3.20, and Pap 2 or more gets you $3.75. So that's where I was looking in that one. But yeah, I think this will be a big blowout.
Yeah, I'm expecting a bit of a carve up as well, unfortunately, for Knights fans. In saying that, this could be one where the Knights they've been hammered in the media the last 3 weeks, hammered again after their terrible performance against the Eels. This could be just a one where they come out and win by 1 or something. It's something unbelievable. But look, I think for me it's a Storm -9.5. I think they cover. Try scorers, I like that 2+. I like Coates 2+. What was that? 375.
320 for Coates.
320, yeah. Like he's short for just scoring 1, but in this where they'll be spreading the ball out, I like Coates 2+ as well. So I'll take Storm to cover 9.5 and Coates 2+. I'm with you there, mate. Now,
beautiful,
mate. We've had preliminary finals in 2005, 2010. Dragons v Tigers. Probably the biggest games in the history between these two clubs. Both a win apiece, and both teams would go on to win their respective grand finals those years. But I would have to put this game as probably above those. The Dragons v Tigers this week, the Roasted Hammy Cup. This is probably stop what you're doing. If you're doing whatever you're doing, you have to stop and watch this game.
You got plans, cancel them.
Cancel them. If the two informed clubs, informed team of the NRL at the moment, both coming with 2 big wins. For me, this is just stop what you're doing, stop everything, watch this game, mark it down, take the time out, sit on the lounge, cancel everything, get on this game.
Yep. You will tell your grandkids where you were when this game was on. This is a huge, huge game to finish the round. They saved the best for last, I think, this week, Roasty. Interesting to note, the Tigers have won their last 3 against the Dragons when starting as underdogs. $2.50 you're getting for the Tigers at the moment. But backing the other team at the line has served me very well as a Tigers fan. So my bet is for the Dragons to win -4.5. So there we go. I've popped that in. So hopefully the footy gods will smile on me once again. For the try scorers, though, Dave Nofaluma. How good is he going at the moment? 2 years ago, he was probably the form winger in the comp. Last year, he was a bit quiet. He is coming in off the back fence at the moment. He scored 2 tries or more in his last 2 games. $6.50 to get 2 or more in this one. So, I don't know. I feel like I might go to the right wing of the Tigers yet again.
Mate, I'm trying to find the market. I didn't even think about it, but it's just popped into my head. I wonder what the exact winning margin, if you pick the Tigers to win again by 1, what would that be paying this week?
Ooh,
maybe let me have a look. For me,
dig around.
I think the big matchup here, Zachy Lomax versus Oliver Gildart. For me, Gildart has been found out a few times in centre. I think coming up against Lomax, who has been poor, he's had a few errors while trying to be a bit too flashy for me. I think he needs to simplify it a little bit. But I think coming up against Oliver, he's probably going to show him up a little bit. I think Lomax is going to give him a little bit of a bath. Lomax to score at 260. A Lomax Rava double is paying $4. I like both of them to score. Or Rava paying for 2+, he's paying $4.75. I'm with you. I like the Dragons to cover. Dragons 1-12 for me at 280 is probably my bet. But honestly, what odds would you have given me 5 weeks ago that this could be the game of the round?
Oh, write your own ticket.
Yeah.
The maximum, I reckon. I think a few people thinking the same thing, but for some reason, it looks like, it will be a really good game. And I found that price for you, by the way. West Tigers by 1 point exactly will get you $29. So if you think Lightning can strike 3 weeks in a row, $29 you're getting there.
What about Alex Twile to kick it?
Well, we haven't got that price up here, but I don't think the Sportsbet server can calculate a price that big, to be honest. So, that'd be something though if you did that.
It would be like Jai Arrow trying to kick one on the weekend. That was quite funny. But no, look, you might think we're joking when you say game of the round, but you look at the Dragons. They've won 2 against some good opponents. Then you go the Tigers, who have beaten 2 top 4 teams in their last 2. So, this could be a cracking game, and this could be. It's a great game to finish off 4 o'clock. Both heavily supported teams, so that 4 o'clock game should see a good crowd out there and some good viewership on TV as well. Mate, looking forward to this round altogether. Now, let's finish off with our trifecta bet, mate. What have you got for our? You sticking with Super Saturday games?
Yeah,
the 3 games are back for Saturday, so
yeah, I'm sticking with Super Saturday. I'm going Jordan Rapiner, $3.20, based on the fact that the Warriors letting in a couple of fullbacks at the moment, so $3.20 for him. Kevin Nguama, I've gone in the
he's back
in the Chookies game against the Dogs. I think down that edge, the Dogs letting in a few tries to the winger on that side. So $1.78 for him. And then Papali, he didn't let me down last week. I'm going back to the well against the Cowboys. $3.50 you're getting for him. And if you whack those together, you're getting $19.90.
That's a good one. I like that one. Mate, I'm going my man Macho Man Xavier Savage in the Rays game. Joey Manu for the Roosters, and Dylan Brown for the Eels, and that has got me $12.10. I like that, just a little bit simple. But yeah, that's us, mate. That is us. What do you got on for the rest of the week, mate?
Mate, I'm actually heading off to a wedding in Barrel later this afternoon. So one of my mates from school is getting married up there, which would be nice to sort of see everyone.
Area, Barrel. We've got a bit of family there. Yeah, I used to go up there.
Lovely. Yeah, the
Bradman
Museum got a bit of a working over on our stopovers up to Sydney and stuff. So looking forward to heading back there, and looking forward to just, consuming a bit of rugby league on 9 as opposed to Gem as well for a couple of days, which would be good. But that's me. What about you?
I got my mum is turning 60, so we're heading to Griffith. My brother and mum and that live in Griffith, so heading there to catch up with my brothers and my nieces, and celebrate with my mum. Take her out for lunch. Have a bit
Lovely.
I actually convinced everyone to have lunch instead of dinner, so we could get home and watch the football.
That's right. Well played.
That's how dedicated I am to the game. It was
it's the craft.
Yeah, it was. They were like, "Oh, do you want to go for dinner or lunch?" I'm like, "Oh, I reckon lunch." Mum would probably prefer lunch. Dinner's probably a bit busy, and because it was near the school holidays and stuff. I'm like, no, let's go for lunch, get it done. Home by 2:00, ready to settle in.
Lovely.
Footy at 3, mate. So
nice.
I'm a great negotiator. That's what
you've done very well.
One of my great arts. But
mate, you've done very, very well there. Well, we'll enjoy the weekend, mate. Good luck. Not too much good luck on Sunday, Arvo, though. But as I said, the Dragons should be right to cover that line, I would have thought. So
100%, yeah. I don't know whether you backing them now. It could be the nail in the coffin, but wait and see.
Yeah. Lovely, mate. Well, thanks for that.
Thank you, Hammy, mate. Enjoy your weekend. And listeners, again, if you have listened all the way through, please go through and give us a rating on the podcast app. That would be much appreciated. But Hammy, enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. Go the Dragons, and we'll talk again next week.
Thanks, Rosie. Make sure you tag me in that asset with all of my great tips from last week. And Gamble Responsibly.
I want you to share it up. Let everyone know how good you are.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers,
hey,
mate.
leave it with me.
Talk soon.
Thank you.